Sa parte po namin, Your Honor, mukhang malinaw nga na nakalabas siya ng bansa, hindi gumagamit ng ating port. Yung sinasabi niya na nagbiyahe sila ng 4 to 6 hours via bangka para papuntang Malaysia. Ang teorya po namin dyan ay parang sumakay sila ng bangka, ay speedboat, sa bandang Bonggao, Tawi-Tawi. Yun po, tsuri lang po namin yun. Wala pa kaming concrete evidence to conclude. Meron po tayong port sa Bonggao, municipality ng Tawi-Tawi, pero pag sumakay sila through the ferry boat na monitor natin, yung port talaga natin, it will take them 10 to 12 hours. Pero magkakaroon po ng marka ang kanyang passport. Pero dahil po walang marka ang kanyang passport nang labas niya sa Pilipinas, ay ang tsuri po namin ay gumamit nga ng backdoor. Nagbiyahe sila ng 4 to 6 hours via bangka, speedboat from Bonggao to Sabah. Yun po ang pinakamalapit sa Sabah. Opo.
Salamat, Director Santiago. Director Casio, sang-ayon ba ang PAOK? Ganyan ba ang teorya nyo na nakatakas sina Alice Guo sa Pilipinas via a backdoor 4 to 6 hours by bangka mula Bonggao hanggang Sabah? Ganon din ba ang tingin ninyo? Teorya ninyo?
In all fairness, Madam Chair, the last report that we had that we were able to validate in relation to a sighting of Mayor Guo was last July 14. And it was in a private resort in the western tip of the Philippines. So
saan pong western tip yon?
That would be Zambales, Madam Chair.
Zambales, all right.
Okay. So that was July 14, Madam Chair. But if she left then pasar for Myanmar, for Malaysia on July 17, then arrived in Malaysia on July 18, then there would be a 3-day window period that we in PAO could not possibly account for.
Pero backtrack po tayo ng konti. Yung dinescribe po ni Director Santiago ng NBI, sa tingin nyo, ganun ba yung naging ruta ni na Alice Guo patakas sa Pilipinas from Bonggao to Sabah?
Madam Chair, we have no evidence either way. So because as stated, our last positive sighting of her was July 14 in Zambales.
Salamat, Director Casio. Before I go on to USEC-T for DOJ, Sen. Rafi, briefly please.
Okay, kanina pa natin nababanggit yung backdoor kung saan dyan tumatakas yung mga fugitives dito. Sa Coast Guard, identified niyo ba itong mga vulnerable na mga seaports natin na ginagamit usually para makatakas ng bansa? Kasi paulit-ulit natin binabanggit, nakatakas yan through the backdoor, paulit-ulit. Pero ano yung mga backdoors na yon? Saan yon? So dapat by now, it should have been identified. Meron tayong mga intelligence funds sa immigration, sa Coast Guard, sa PNP. So dapat identified na yun at naghigpit tayo doon sa mga seaports na yun kung saan may mga illegal activities. But we are not doing it. And the big question is why. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Chair Rafi. Coast Guard Vice Admiral Punsalan, briefly please, ano-ano yung mga backdoors na iyan na tinatawag natin bago ko balikan ang DOJ?
Regards po yung possible routes, yung sa south po we have sa Zamboanga nga po and down to Sulu. Ito po yung mga possible routes. Sa kasalukuyan, as known by many, we're in the process of recruiting more people, establishing more posts where we can fully enforce and implement controls. In addition to our basic mandates, in support to the mandates of other agencies like immigration.
At makasingit, excuse me.
Yes,
Di ba lahat ng mga seacraft na umaalis sa Pantalan, ini-inspect dapat yan ng Coast Guard? Am I right?
Yes, sir. That's true.
So paano nakalusot mga to? Using backdoors, sakay ng mga pump boat, yates, speedboats, etc.
una po muna sa lahat, the majority of the seacraft that we are mandated to inspect are mga passenger vessels because the main mandate po ng Coast Guard is maritime safety, environmental protection, and maritime security. But
Pero hindi
we have,
nyo inspect yung mga fishing vessels, yung mga yate,
we do as well, sir.
o cargo vessels na possible na pwedeng gamitin to, sakyan, patakas.
Yes, sir. But the challenge really, sir, is the porous nature of our coastline.
The what?
Porous.
Okay.
Very open kasi yung ating coastline. But nonetheless, it is through the developments that I mentioned that we are beefing up or building up our capacity to cover as much as we can.
Salamat,
Madam
Vice
Chair?
Admiral Apunsalan.
Sorry,
Sen. Joel, briefly, please.
I don't think the resource person answered the question of Senator Raffy, and I'm also interested in that same question. Saan tong mga lugar na to? Because there are 375 ports of entry and exits in the Philippines. Ang tanong ho is, na-identify na ba itong mga pang backdoor na ito? Ang nabanggit nyo lang po ay yung Zamboanga, Jolo, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi. So 4 lang po ba yun? Kasi ho, ang dami nito 375. And to begin with, you look at the Bureau of Immigration's request budget for border control and management, Madam Chair, 5.16 billion. So I wonder what we are doing here, no? Kasi alam na natin na paulit-ulit na binanggit ni Sen. Raffy kanina, paulit-ulit na po Yung latest, 'di ba, yung si Arnie Teves, Madam Chair, ganun din po yung nangyari, 'di ba? Undetected din po siya, nakaalis din po siya ng bansa. Paulit-ulit na lang So, in this 375 ports of entry and exits, na-identify nyo na ba? Ano yung talagang, dyan? Talagang notorious yan, yung backdoor na yan. Dagdagan natin dyan. Mag-inspect tayo dyan.
The Chair would like to recognize the arrival ni Sen. Robin Sukran sa inyong pagdalo. So, Vice Admiral Punsalan, briefly, dun sa 375 ports, yun lamang bang iila na in-identify ninyo ang matatawag na backdoor?
No, ma'am. No, sir. Actually, kaya nga, sir, I had to describe the nature of our coastline to be porous, na lalo na for small boats, katulad ng nabanggit po kanina. So it can be coming from a beach resort, it can be coming from a coastline far from the regular ports that we have.
Salamat,
That's
Vice
unfortunate,
Admiral
Madam Chair.
Punsalan.
It means we're not going to do
Joel.
anything. We will not be able to address this problem. So that is the answer that we're getting. We're not going to address this problem. This will happen again, over and over again. That's unfortunate and really, really disappointing, Madam Chair.
At dahil disappointing, hindi natin iwan sa ganyan lamang. So, babalikan natin ang Coast Guard tungkol dyan. And mukhang kailangan pumasok sa recommendations ng committee report natin, Sen. Joel. Briefly, before I go back to DOJ, Director Casio, and speaking of resorts, saan sa Zambales yung private resort na sinasabi nyo at anong pangalan nung private resort na binanggit nyo?
Yes, Madam Chair. The information we got was Emanpulo in Zambales. Not Amanpulo, but Emanpulo.
That's in Kabangan? Zambales?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kabangan?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chair. So that was the last information that we got, Madam Chair. And I may report to the body that together with the Bureau of Immigration, we tried to get access to the said private resort. Unfortunately, it was very difficult for us to get into the resort without compromising the operation. Then when we did finally get into the resort, together with the Bureau of Immigration and some elements of the military, we received information that we were 1.5 hours too late because apparently the group left by a speedboat in 2 speedboats, Madam Chair.
Sinong grupo yan?
If our theory is correct, that would have been the group of the dismissed Mayor Bamban together with her 2 siblings.
July 14 po iyon.
No, ma'am. July 14 was the
Last
date
sighting.
that our last sighting, Madam Chair.
So, anong petsa nung sinasabi niyong you were 1.5 hours too late para maabutan sina Alice Go? They left on 2 speedboats.
I will have to go back to our record, Madam Chair, but now that we have in public, it's not public information that she arrived she was in Denpasar on 17th of July, then arrived in Malaysia around 18th of July. Our theory may have been wrong in the first place because if I am not mistaken, the operation that we conducted, it took us, I'm sorry, Madam Chair, it took us almost a month to be able to firm up the operation together with the Bureau of Immigration and our military counterparts because it was really very difficult for us at that point. The place is secluded. It takes a few hours away from mainland Zambales to go into the island. And it was very, how would I put it? It was very suspicious for us because the island was guarded by 4 members of the Philippine National Police. So, because of that fact, the pictures that our assets were able to take about that particular island, we became all the more suspicious. But unfortunately, again, being the small agency that we are, it took us almost 3 weeks to be able to finalize the operation. And by the time that we arrived, we had no positive sightings of the said subjects, Madam Chair.
So itong 1.5 hours too late kayo para abutin yung grupo ni Alice Go na umalis sa 2 speedboat mula sa Emanpulo sa Kabanggan, posibleng ito yung simula ng journey na dinidescribe din ni Miss Sheila at yung sinusubukan nating buuin na kwento kung paano nakatakas si Mayor Alice
That may
sa
not
Pilipinas.
be in the affirmative now, ma'am, given what is now publicly known. Because based on the immigration records that our friends from the Bureau of Immigration were able to obtain from their counterparts in Singapore, Indonesia, Singapore, and Malaysia, she left Denpasar 17 of July, arrived in Malaysia 18 of July. So our operation was conducted 3 weeks after July 14 po, Madam Chair. So we may not be talking about the same individuals anymore. But maybe we're talking of Chinese nationals who are still Pogo related.
Okay, and speaking of those individuals na sinusubukan yung i-identify within those 3 days na sabi nyo hindi ma-account for ng PAOK, who exactly were in Mayor Alice's group in Emanpulo?
What we were able to positively identify at that point, Madam Chair, around July 15, was there were indeed Chinese-looking foreign nationals in that particular island, Madam Chair. Then our asset informed us that apparently he had an eyeball sighting of Mayor Guo. But then when made to us to produce an actual video or a picture of the said dismissed mayor, he failed to submit the same. But because of certain facts that we saw in the island that were suspicious to us, we nevertheless went through in developing the operation.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Madam Chair?
Yes, and Rafi,
Yeah,
briefly, please.
kasi binanggit niya na meron kayong asset na nagsabing possible sighting ni Alice Goo doon sa Emanpulo, right? Okay. So, nung nagkaroon kayo ng ganong sighting from your asset, ba't hindi nyo binantayan, surveillance, kinasing yung lugar na yon and then contact the Philippine Coast Guard at ibato sa kanila na bantayan paligid ng karagatan dyan sa Emanpulo and then dyan sa lugar, sabihan sa PNP, si IDG, para manmanan at na make sure lahat ng mga sasakyan dyan sundan o parahin, whatever. Why didn't you do that, sir?
That was done, Mr. Chair. The Armed Forces of the Philippines went around the area. They did several instances of casing in the area. Unfortunately,
Kung meron kayong casing, ba't nakatakas?
Mr. Chair, unfortunately, the subject foreign nationals were staying in one particular secluded area of the resort, Mr. Chair. Then, given that all that we had Mr. Chair, was a mission order, and the commissioner would bear with me. All mission orders in relation to immigration, the Bureau of Immigration, are person-specific and location-specific. So when they fail to account for the physical person of Alice de Alguo or Go Waping, we would not be able to implement the said mission order.
Yung sinasabi niyo po, Director, na foreign-looking nationals, Chinese nationals, Chinese-looking, ano nangyari doon na yung pinisa niyo ng asset niyo? Nakawala ba yun? O hanggang ngayon, nandoon pa rin natutulog doon sa Imanpulo Resort?
I would imagine, Mr. Chair, they're still there in Imanpulo because they have made a residence of the private resort.
So mali yung asset niyo?
Yes, sir. I think the asset was simply wrong because now, as I stated with the Madam Chair, because of what is publicly known now, given that she had her passport stamped July 17 sa Indonesia, I can now definitely say that that was not Go Waping in that particular location.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, if
Although
I
you
may.
said there were 3 days unaccounted for, no? Anyway, balikan ko kayo before going back to DOJ, SP Pro Temp.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, kanina sinabi ni Sheila, no? Sheila, pangalan mo? Bumiyahe kayo from Manila around 5 hours tapos sumakay ka ng maliit na barko.
Opo.
Correct?
Yung oras hindi ko sure eh.
Yeah, approximately mga 5 oras.
Siguro po.
Alright. Okay, kasi pag pupunta ka sa Zambales, mga 3 oras lang yun.
Hindi ko alam
Alright.
po.
Sinasabi ko lang. Pero pag pupunta ka sa Pangasinan, aabot ka ng 5 oras. Tama ba? Kung dadaan ka sa T-Plex, gano'n. Alright. Noong nakarang hearing, mga first, second hearing, tinanong ko kay Alice Go kung meron siyang relasyon na politiko. At sinabi niya, wala. Pero it's already an open book na meron sa Pangasinan, sa mayor doon. Doon sa bayan na yun, sige, banggitin ko na sa Sual, Pangasinan, meron pong daungan doon. Meron daungan doon. I have information, my office has received information na meron daungan doon na pumapasok ang mga Chinese nationals doon. Siguro ito yung mga empleyado ng mga Pogo na dinadala dyan sa Bamban. Now, pwede rin lumayas doon. Pwede rin kumuha kayo ng barko doon, paalis, papunta sa abroad. Yung sinasabi mong maliit na barko. Yun lang po ang aking theory dahil siguro may mga kasabot itong syempre maraming pera yung kapatid mo, mayor yung kapatid mo, tsaka yung baka I'm not sure, I do not have any evidence to corroborate myself, no? Basta ang pagkakalam ko, meron siyang boyfriend doon sa Sual na siguro siyang umalalay, na pwedeng umalalay na para makalabas kayo ng bansa. Yun lang po, Madam Chair.
Salamat, SP Pro Temp. Last kay Director Casio, bago ko talaga balikan ng DOJ, no, sa inyong teorya. Who exactly were in Mayor Alice's group dun sa Imanpulo? Kahit sabi niyo na mali yung asset niyo about what happened after. Pero dun sa araw na yun, yung huling sighting niyo na July 14, andun din ba si Miss Sheila ayon sa asset niyo?
No.
Andun ba si Wesley at andun ba si Seaman?
Madam Chair, on July 14, on July 15, the information we received was she went into Go Waping, I mean. She went into Emanpulo on the 14th of July. Only her was mentioned. But then again, if I may be allowed to state, that information may be erroneous at this point, given what is publicly known now po.
Alright. Salamat, Director Casio.
Madam
So
Chair?
finally again,
Please lang, Madam Chair.
mabilis lamang po,
Mabilis
and then
lang talaga.
kailangan kong balikan na ang DOJ.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Rafi.
Kung naging maagap lang sana ang DOJ sa pagproseso ng kaso against Alice Go at lumabas agad yung warrant of arrest at nakipag-coordinate tayo sa Interpol para malabasan ng red notice, hindi na sana tayo nag-uusap dito ngayon. Huli na sana si Alice Go kasi hindi na siya makatapak kahit anong airport because all member countries ng Interpol ay naka-red flag na yan at pag dumaan yan, huli agad. Bakit po mabagal yung pag-usad ng kaso ni Alice Go sa DOJ?
Tama po.
Yusek T, since ang tanong pala ay para din sa DOJ, pakisagutin yung tanong ni Chair Rafi and then tumbukin na rin yung tanong ng Chair sa bawat ahensya. Sang-ayon ba kayo dun sa mga teoryang sinabi so far ng BI, ng PAOK, o kung hindi, anong teorya ng DOJ, paano nakatakas si Alice Go sa Pilipinas?
Sige, doon sa tsorya muna ng DOJ, Madam Chair. Ang tsorya namin, yung lumabas na yung balita na nakalabas na ng bansa si Mayor Alice Guo, ay dumaan siya sa backdoor. Ang pinag-uusapan lang namin ay kung himpapawid ba or tumawid dagat siya. Mabuti na lang ngayon na nagaling na mismo kay Ms. Sheila Guo na tumawid dagat sila. Base sa impormasyon na nanggaling kay Ms. Sheila Guo, ay mukhang galing sa Luzon. Luzon ang point of exit nila mula sa Pilipinas para makapuntang backdoor. At dahil din sa kwento niya na sumakay muna sila ng bangka bago lumipat sa mas malaking boat, no? Ay posibleng dumaan sila sa mga private port. Dahil ang mga bangka naman pwedeng hindi naman yan tulad ng mga mas malaking boat, no, na kailangan sa mga official port dumaan. Minsan nga pwede nga sa tabing dagat lang doon manggaling ang mga bangka. Doon sa tanong ni Senator Villanueva, ang pangkaraniwan na ruta doon sa backdoor ay Zamba Sulta at Palawan. Yun ang mga ulat sa amin galing sa mga Pilipinong nasasalba natin sa ibang bansa na trafficking victim, at sa mga ulat nila ay kung nag-backdoor man sila, doon sila dumadaan. Pero lumalabas dito na maaari din talagang dumaan sa Luzon, lalo na kung may resources ang taong gustong makalabas.
So hindi lang southern backdoors pinag-uusapan natin, northern backdoors or front doors din ang posibilidad. And before I continue with Yusek T, dun sa isang binanggit ni Director Casio, matanong ko do sa NBI, may ka-look-alike ba si Alice? Kasi may mga impormasyon din na, at tanong, may doppelganger ba si Alice Go?
Madam
Director
Chair,
Santiago.
Madam Chair, sorry, hindi pa sinasagot ni
Yes,
Yusek
babalikan po
Felix.
natin ang DOJ
Bakit
Chair
mabagal
Rafi.
yung usap
Yes,
na
yes,
ako?
babalikan po natin yung tanong na yun. But just quickly, Director Santiago, may look-alikes ba si Mayor Alice? Kaya yung nabitin dun sa tanong ni Director Casio na nakita pero mali pala and then may 3 araw na unaccounted for. May doppelganger o look-alikes ba si Mayor Alice Guo?
Yung sa look-alike, ma'am, hindi imposible. Maaaring may ka-look-alike siya sa...
Alright. Salamat, Director Santiago. Yusek T, yung bahaging tanong din galing kay Chair Rafi. Opo, bakit mabagal yung pagkilos ng NBI dito?
Salamat,
Ng
Chair Rafi.
DOJ dito?
Salamat, Madam Chair. Salamat, Chair Rafi, sa tanong niyo. Gusto po namin talagang as much as possible mapabilis ang kaso. Kaya lang unang-una yung kaso na to, hindi lang naman si Mayor Guo ang respondent dito. Madaming mga respondent dito. At bukod doon, yung mga abogado ni Mayor Guo, madami silang in-employ na dilatory tactics. Tuwing nag-schedule kami ng preliminary investigation, hindi magpapakita, hihingi ng extension. At ang huling ginawa nila, nagsalang sila ng motion to admit kung saan, bago nagsalang ng motion to admit, ay sinabi na ng mga fiscal na namumuna sa prosecution panel na tapos na ang kaso, no, submitted for resolution na. Pero ang nangyari doon sa pinakahuling hearing, dumating ang mga abogado ni Mayor Guo at nagsalang ng motion to admit with counter affidavit. At ito na yung alam nating counter affidavit na mukhang peke, no? Mukhang may problema doon sa counter affidavit na yun. So lumalabas, Your Honor, no, hindi natin matatanggi, may dilatory tactics talaga na ginamit ang mga abogado ni Mayor Guo upang mapatagal ang kaso sa amin. At kami naman, kailangan kami balanse, kailangan galangin din namin ang mga karapatan ng mga tao na dumadaan sa preliminary investigation sa amin. Hindi namin basta-basta pwedeng ibraso ang kaso na to. Pero alam po namin na kung kakayanin, sana mas mabilis, at nakausap na din naman namin yung mga prosecution panel na sana kung kakayanin nila, as long as pasok sa procedures natin, ay sana mapabilis nila ang pagdesisyon ng kaso.
And so Yusek T, so ano na yung mas firm na teorya nyo sa paano nakatakas sa Pilipinas sina Alice Guo?
So, nabinig naman natin kay Ms. Sheila Guo na mukhang nagbiyahe sila palabas ng Pilipinas na tawid dagat at dumaan sila at mula sa isang punta sa Luzon. At sang-ayon naman to sa mga iba-ibang tsorya dito, galing kay Director Casio, sabi niya sa Zambales, Sabi ni Senator Jinggoy, maaaring galing sa Pangasinan. So maaaring galing sa Luzon ang paglabas ni Mayor Guo, lumipat sa mas malaking boat at mula noon pumunta na sa Malaysia.
Matanong ang Coast Guard, ano po? Since lumalabas yung iba't ibang teorya ng mga ahensya, mas marami ay nag-aakala na tumakas sina Alice Guo by boat. Ganon din po ba yung nabubuo ninyong teorya sa ngayon? And if so, meron na po ba kayong nakukuhang manifest nung vessel na sinakyan nila para makatakas sa Pilipinas?
Ang information po na alam po namin, Madam Chair, Your Honors, ay what we have just been hearing, particularly by air. Pero apparently, with the new manifestation, it may not be so anymore. So, instructions have just been given now to our units to dig deeper into this and for us to be able to determine veracity and to be able to determine what the gaps were vis-a-vis the capabilities that our units have.
Mas specific po ba yung instructions ninyo sa mga units nyo? Halimbawa, may priority sa Sambales, may priority sa Pangasinan, at yung ilan pang mga lugar na binanggit ng iba't ibang ahensya na maaring dun siya nag-jump off palabas?
Opo, ma'am. In fact, particularly the district commander sa Coast Guard District Northwestern Luzon in La Union, which covers the northern area, and the Coast Guard District Southwestern Mindanao, which covers the Mindanao area. Yan po yung mga whom we advised just now as the discussions went on, ma'am.
Madam Chair.
Salamat sa pagsubaybay, Vice Admiral
Just a
Punsalan.
short
Yes,
verification to
briefly,
the
Sen.
chairman.
Doroy, bago tayo dumako sa
Yes,
PNP.
Before I leave, Madam Chair, I may request the chairman at chairwoman of this committee, Madam Chair, na next hearing, can we invite the Philippine Navy, invite them also, the team of the Philippine Navy that comprise the joint border control ng Pilipinas at Malaysia. Kasi sila, yung mga tao na yan, very familiar sila sa lahat na nagkukross sa borderline natin ng Pilipinas at Malaysia dahil sila nagsisisita doon. Chine-check nila yan. So baka pwede yung border control team leader mismo ng Navy at saka yung ating immigration, di ba may tao kayo doon na sa border control ng South?
Yes, Your Honor. We have
Oh.
an office in Bungao, Tawi-Tawi,
Sama natin, Madam Chair.
and Balabac in Palawan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yun
Madam
lang,
Chair.
Madam Chair. Thank you.
Madam
Salamat kaayo,
Madam Chair,
Sen.
pwedeng-
Doroy. So we will invite the Philippine Navy Joint Border Control at yung BI sa Bongao at saka Balabac. Yes,
Madam Chair,
briefly, Sen. Joel,
pwede pong,
before we
hindi,
go back
hingi
to
lang din po ako
PNP.
gaya nung binanggit ni Sen Bato ng kasi kanina pa natin pinag-uusapan yung theories, Madam Chair. And I appreciate the questions raised by our colleagues because we wanted to make sure that our system works. We wanted to make sure that there are the mechanisms are in place. And so when you ask questions, for example, when you ask questions sa DOJ, ano yung theory nyo? Ang nakuha nating sagot ay kung ano yung binanggit kanina ni Sheila. Pagka tinanong po natin yung mga ehensya kung ano yung theory nila sa nangyari, we wanted to find out how they process information. Mula po dun sa gathering of information, how do they develop their theories, etc. Paano natin mai-improve? Para sa susunod, hindi na mangyari to. So, baka po pwede, Madam Chair, we can ask these agencies, ano ba yung process nila? And if there's anything we can improve, what are the loopholes that we are looking at na po pwede nating pagtuunan ng pansin sa budget deliberation? Papakita na naman natin itong mga saksakan ng daming intelligence funds, itong border control management funds, etc. We wanted to make sure that these are being used properly. So I hope we can ask the departments, agencies, how they develop this, ano yung mga loopholes, ano yung mga pwede natin gawin, may kulang ba? Dun sa binabanggit kanina na porous ang lugar natin eh. So na-identify natin yung mga mabibigat at talagang notorious areas in the country, then we'll be able to improve our services. We'll be more efficient. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, pwede mo
Thank
kasi.
you, Sen. Joel. So, dun sa isa-submit na report ng bawat ahensya. Pakisama na yung sinasabi ni Sen Joel. Ano yung dinadaanan yung work process para mabuo yung ganyang mga teorya or paliwanag sa kung paano nangyari ang mga bagay-bagay.